Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Oz the Alchemist. This is,
Miss Lola Love.
and we are Lights Camera Wrestling, and we have been gone for a minute, but we are back
A
now.
minute. We've been on for quite some time.
We've been
It's
gone
been
for
about
maybe a month.
we we've been gone since SummerSlam.
We have been.
We've been gone since SummerSlam. And you know what? A lot has happened. I don't want to say big drastic things have happened. Maybe one big drastic return
One
happened.
big drastic return for sure, but everything else it's been kind of like WrestlePalooza. Um,
You know what? You know what? The critics are talking, baby. This weekend has been crazy. Getting choked up on my own words because all I can say for WrestlePalooza is what the hell was that?
Unnecessary was what it was
Um,
because we didn't need it whatsoever. You could have this could have been an extended Raw or SmackDown. This
you know
what
what?
this could have been.
Now that I think about it, Oz, I feel like maybe it's a curse, and it's no disrespect to the company and the wrestlers that came before today's wrestlers. We are '90s kids, and we respect that era. However, WrestlePalooza started with which company? WCW. And honestly, it lived up to what WCW was putting out.
Now we can't say okay. We can say that during the later years. However, it was whooping WWE's
It
ass
was,
in the
it
early
was.
on.
I'm talking about the later years. I'm talking
Okay,
about later
okay,
years,
okay.
like 2000, 2000, 2001. I'm talking
No,
about them years when it was too many people joining the NWO when you was just like, bro, this not even a good group no more. Like anybody can join, even the nerds. Like, yeah, talk about those years. Because that was just outrageous. It was the constant hype for it all week long on both shows.
see, here's the thing for me. It never was hype for me. I never got hyped about it. First of all, the name threw me because it's called WrestlePalooza. Who,
Mhm.
who is that for? That sounds like it was made in the '80s when that was a thing. And then
That's why, you know what's weird? Not to cut you off, but CM Punk said the exact same thing. He refused to say WrestlePalooza. He said, the pay per view that's coming up, he said, I'm sorry, I just can't find myself saying that because it sounds silly. And it does.
it
Anything
does.
with a palooza in it, I don't even like the only thing I want to hear palooza in is Lollapalooza.
That's the only thing that I'll
That's
accept.
the only thing
That's the only thing I'll say.
because that makes sense. A whole lot of crazy, outrageous stuff happens there, but it makes sense. But to combine one of our most favorite things, wrestling and palooza, and put it together, it sounds like a circus. It sounds childish, like I'm going to a fun land
And it
with my
was.
kids, and I don't like that. This is
It,
grown man's business, and it's like you got grown men saying WrestlePalooza. I've been hearing it all week. Like, how much they paying y'all to say it? I mean, I counted on SmackDown. Let me see how many times they gonna say WrestlePalooza and ESPN. Y'all, man, I
man,
tell
let's
you what.
I tell you that's getting into something else because it's like y'all make hand over fist in money and revenue and shirt sales, people showing up to the venues, everything else. What are y'all doing? Why do y'all
Well,
need so much money?
I don't understand it either. Like, I understand trying to. I was speaking with my father about this last night, and I understand them trying to go to ESPN as far as being part of the conversation. Like it wasn't until I was really just watching interviews with Triple H and him giving it a breakdown outside of the money aspect of it. I'm thinking of okay, how they're trying to expand ESPN. When you think of it, I say what do ESPN showcase? Sports. For some reason, and I can even say personally, when I'm on the train or the bus and I could be watching a WWE match show, whatever it is, just some old stuff, and people will look over and they're just like, that ain't real, or whatever. And it's like, first of all, excuse you. Versus if I'm watching a basketball game, oh here come, oh man, I missed it. I'd have had somebody sit behind me and sitting there and watching it. And I think what they're trying to do is just be a part of the conversation as far as yes, we are sports entertainment. Yes, some things are predetermined, but we are still a sport, and we need to be in that bracket of sports, just like basketball and football and baseball. We are part of that whole whole talk too. So I get it because when you think about it, my dad was saying how well they're in a world of their own as far as wrestling, WWE. They're in a world of their own. Yes, they are. But at the same time, what do they do that's so different than what WWE is doing? When you're watching basketball and baseball and football, are you not being entertained? Oh, that is entertainment. Do they not have, they may not showcase the drama. That's the only thing, but the physicality, the press, everything that they have is pretty much what WWE is doing besides the drama. But that's where the housewives come in. And that's your drama right there. But with WWE, you're getting it all showcased right here on one big stage. And they want to be known as the biggest sport. And to be honest, I'm not mad at it just because I recently watched the Vince McMahon's documentary yesterday again. And that was Vince's issue with Vince McMahon Sr. With Vince McMahon Sr. wanted to keep it just pro wrestling. We stay here in this bubble. And Vince was like, no, I want to take over the world and show them this is the best sport, period. And I want to expand. So I'm not going to say that Vince probably wouldn't have done the same thing because I believe that a lot of deals that they're going forward with, Vince was the one that was putting those things into place before his departure. So I can get why they were going to it. It was the pricing of it for me. And
Okay.
it's like, yeah, if it was like $7.99 or something like how Peacock was, I believe everybody would have been completely fine with it.
Because
I only got Peacock for pay-per-views for wrestling anyway. The same reason I only got Netflix.
if
But
that's truly the case, right? And you want to be more, you don't want to stay in a bubble. I can understand that because who wants to stay in a bubble if you have more to offer?
mhm,
And that's anybody with anything anywhere. But the thing is, you want to be the biggest thing. You already are. Everybody knows who you are. Granted,
this is true.
you can have the people that's like, oh well, this is fake, so this really doesn't matter. They were never gonna watch it anyway. Even if you
Mhm.
put it on ESPN, they weren't gonna watch it anyway because they feel how they feel about it. Now you put it on ESPN so you can have a bigger showcase of it and a bigger reach for it. Okay, cool, but at a cost to the people who actually love this shit and wants to actually give money to this and actually watch it, where you had it on Peacock where you could have $7.99, $5. I don't know how much it was because I stopped using it.
Seven
But
seven ninety nine.
$7.99 every month to watch a pay-per-view, and then the reruns of all the shows on there. And that was for the fans, if you ask me, if anything, because you had the WWE network and you gave that up for whatever reason. Um
Make
I wouldn't even be mad
no
had they brought that back.
sense. I wouldn't be mad if they brought it back either because it makes sense to say, like you said, that well, y'all already are the best. You already, y'all had your own damn network. You had your own
Y'all are
network.
literally what people think of when you hear wrestling. They don't think about AEW, they don't think about New Japan, they don't think about
Triple A,
CMLL, AAA. They don't think about them.
AWA, all that. Yeah,
They think exactly about WWE. So you are the biggest. Now all you're doing is just hoarding money like a dragon. That's all you're doing right now.
pretty
All these
pretty
damn
much.
sponsorships, in the goddamn
Oh
ring,
my man, look,
the
that's
Slim
really
Jim
killing
table.
me.
Stop using the Slim Jim table.
Please stop. And why are we calling it that? Why the freak is it called a Slim Jim table? This is WWE, like this is wrestling. Like I think that's it's so back and forth about it because I love the company, yes. But it's like, why do you guys have to be so mainstream? I felt the same way when do you know the rock and roll? You know it. The rock and roll McDonald's downtown.
Yeah,
Do you remember how it was when we were kids?
I didn't go to it that often, so I can't
They had
say.
a huge the sign for it was a gigantic guitar that
Right.
like it went into the sky.
Yeah.
And when you go in, it had so much retro stuff from when our grandparents were kids. It had like you could what do they call like the not a boom box. It's not a boom box. What is that?
Jukebox.
Jukebox, yes. They got the jukebox of different music. It was so many different things to show like the different times, going all the way to the 90s and up until they had an escalator and like everything in there really was showing like the vintage, side of like rock and roll. And it was cool. But then they tore it down and they changed it and it literally just looks like a corporate office building, but it's McDonald's.
Yeah. I seen after they took everything out, but hold that thought. So yeah, it's just weird that they're doing all of this with what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
you're hoarding money for whatever reason. You got the Slim Jim table. You got Papa John's. You're using Papa John's of all the pizza places. That's what pissed me off when I looked at the ring.
I
You
don't
have
think.
Papa John's. Um, yeah, and then you have WrestlePalooza, which you use to counter attack AEW.
And to
And
be completely honest, and I never thought in all of my years that I would ever say this. AEW's pay per view was way better than WrestlePalooza. It
whoops,
was
they
they
ass.
they whooped their ass. I mean, Beth Phoenix returned. I never would have thought I would have seen Beth Phoenix in AEW. Not only that, Beth Phoenix was out there throwing hands. She didn't care that she was going to get her ass whooped, but it was the fact that she throwing hands with men. She came out there to save her man. So it's like, oh no. Mercedes Moné retained her title. The biggest upset to me is that Miss Timeless Tony Storm lost her title.
It was about time though. I know you ain't been here for
No,
you ain't been here that long, but it's been time for that.
I haven't, and that's why I haven't really went on a rant about it because I said, okay, I was looking at the comments people were saying and online, and they were saying how this woman has been like, finally she got it, blah blah, or whatever, and I don't know the backstory, so I can't really, just come off. Nah, forget that because I don't know. All I know is Tony Storm is one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the game. Period.
And yeah, Chris Statlander, shout out to her for winning the title. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's Tony's had that title 4 times. Chris Statlander just got this title for the first time. It's been time.
Hey, might as well say the same thing about Mercedes. She over there hogging them like
Mercedes
Mario.
has 9 damn titles. Stop taking all these women's titles.
Nine, nine. And what's crazy is it's like she just coming in. What I love about Mercedes Moné is the fact that this woman is one of the smallest women I have ever seen, height and size wise. She's just small, but can go out there and deliver like a woman twice her size. She puts on a hell of a show. Her athleticism, her ring work, her ring awareness, everything about that. She's just so in tune with being there. That's her stomping ground. That's where she feels safe at. That's where she feels like she owns it, and she does. And she's been that way since NXT. Like that woman is truly something special, man. Like I'm not going to say nothing is impossible because I never thought that half the stuff that happened in WWE would be possible. I would love for her to return, not now, but in some later years down the line, just so this newer generation can see who Sasha Banks is.
I don't.
Because Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks the name because she can't use Mercedes Moné there, but the name because the aggression that she has now, just like I looked the same thing when Naomi left and came back, it was a different side of her. So this is totally different Mercedes that we're dealing with. That's why I say somewhere down the line, never say never. I don't care if it's 10 years or whatever from now, and she just makes an appearance, just to see her come back to me home would just be a good thing to just witness. Because I was really rooting to see her, and she was rooting for the women, which I thought maybe it's possible when they had Evolution. She definitely did give a shout out and root for the women that were going to fight because she revolutionized that entire era of when they were giving divas a chance, like her, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky. They all came in and changed the way women were looked at in the business, and to see her still out there doing her thing and being on top. Not just doing her thing and still wrestling, but being on top. 9 belts. I have never seen that. That has never happened.
And
Like this,
arguably,
man.
her and Tony are neck and neck in that company right now. Like people might not
Yeah,
be happy
yeah.
about Mercedes having the title as long as she's had it, but her and Tony are the women's division heads right now. Like it's them, and then Chris Statlander, and then maybe Willow, and
I
other
think,
people are coming up. But other than that, those are the main 4 right now.
and I think that's why that match between Mercedes and Tony was so huge. I do believe. I wish it would have waited a little bit for something as big as that. I wish it would, just wait a little longer. I like to wait stuff out because I don't like when it's over. because I feel like now it's over. Tony was a whole different, different opponent, different storyline. And those are two women I would want to see continuously knocking heads or whatever, because, like you said, they're both at the top. And to see two top people go head to head to see who's the best, I love that. I love good competition. And that's just, man,
That's just
that's
money.
just
That's
good.
printing money.
Huh?
I said that's just printing money.
Oh, for sure. Also, my boy, yes. That was a brutal match. I'll say that. That was a brutal match. I'm just mad that, I ain't like the way he was throwing him up in them thumbtacks, even though he the one that took him out. It don't matter.
Hey,
He hurt so
look.
bad.
Around here, we love Mark Briscoe. We love Mark Briscoe around here.
Yeah, I don't know. I was glad when MJF put his whole head in there, because that's what you get. But yeah, it was even cool to see, even though I know they're too big on, Hope Edge. Okay, I call the man no Cope. What the heck is that? Like, yeah,
That's his last name.
I know this is his last name. Well, we all figured out it was his last name when Hardy came back and aired it out on WWE on Raw that time when he was fired, and he got on the mic and yelled both their real names, Lita, Amy Dumas, and Adam Copeland. I didn't need to know that was his name. His name is Edge, and he will always be Edge. Edge and Christian. Good to see them reunite again after all these years. The character that Christian plays is so funny to me, just because his character, he went through so many different phases in WWE, from being that tag team guy, the pretty boy, the 5 second, the poses, and then when they split up, he went through like this crybaby Christian era during the Attitude Era. It was funny because he was losing a lot of his matches. When they broke up, Edge was like the heartthrob and getting championships, intercontinental championships, and making history. And Christian, on his single run, was just like annoying as hell. And Stone Cold coined his name to be what do you call him, creepy little bastard. Um, and that stuck for a little minute. And then Christian, when he would lose matches, he would literally throw a huge tantrum in the ring, banging on the mat, flying all over the place. So to see him now be this serious dude, and Edge is just like, we back, like having fun and blah blah. And it's like it's like the big brother, like, bro, calm down. It's funny. It's really funny. But I never thought I would see them reunite, just
And
because when Edge first came to the company and the issues that they did have. Like,
yeah,
so to see
it
them,
really had problems. I
man,
I just want to say, fans of LCW, she swore she would never come on this side of wrestling. She would never dip a toe into pro wrestling, and she has. Thanks to
you know what?
I take the
You know
credit for
what?
this.
You know what? I had to really just get out of my WWE cult circle. Um, I was just raised like that. Even during the Monday Night Wars when I was a kid, my grandfather and my father said, we are a WWF, because that's what it was at the time. We're a WWF house. We do not give viewership to WCW, to ECW, to TNA, no other stuff. So I knew about the companies. I knew about certain superstars because I always kept my ear to the streets when it came to wrestling about any promotion. But what I put my time in has always been WWE. So even when AEW, when I first heard about it, I'm just like, are they supposed to be a WCW knockoff? Like, okay, all right. And I didn't really take much to it. I looked at it when people get fired from WWE, as Roman Reigns told Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania 40, the number two table will have you now. So that's how I looked at it. They the number two table. So I didn't look at them much as competition, nor did I think I had any interest of watching people who went there, because it wasn't like my favorite stars were going there until stuff started happening. And it wasn't until I started to take peeks at it when CM Punk left and when Cody left. And I kept hearing, what had me look at even a segment of it was Jade Cargill, because I kept hearing about her. I was already into Bianca, and I keep hearing about this woman, and I go look her up on Google when I see a few, her matches and stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, all right, she's a little force. Keep an eye out for her. So when she came over, and I found out she was a free agent. Oh, I was ecstatic. But when Edge left, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little confused because I'm like, didn't he just retire? And had his retirement match in Toronto on SmackDown and WWE, and then I look up and he's in AEW, and I'm like, huh? I thought he was retiring for good, but yeah. So it has been some buzz going around it, and I keep hearing people talk about it, and I always been against it, but I'll give it to them. They They got some hot stuff going on over there. And a comment that I saw this morning that someone referenced was how AEW, they believe, is like the WWF's Attitude Era, just upgraded. They said it's kind of like Attitude Era 2.0. Like it's uncensored, if you want to
Yeah,
say, when it
to a
comes to
degree,
certain stuff.
very much so to a degree, because they be cussing on
Yeah,
TBS.
I saw that at the pay-per-view. I'm like, they person like for real. Like they saying
Yep,
the F word.
yep,
Like they cussing. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is what they mean by that they are a little more, they're less polished.
yes.
And I think
That's what I love about it personally. Because like I told you, wrestling for me is supposed to be like punk rock. This is not supposed to be glitz and glamorous. This is what I want. This is what I love.
but this is what, and that's the thing that they need to, and I think they try to give it every now and again, but WWE, they try to look at the bigger picture because they look at it like, okay, if we stay stagnant in this, then we can't. Y'all can still give that and move forward and make that what's mainstream, what we fell in love with, that hardcore, that grit, that punk rock, all of that, make that mainstream, make that normal. Because what wrestling, I believe, was made for, when you think about it, people used to make fun of you. When you said you like wrestling, it was for the weirdos, for the nerds, for they ain't real, that's fantasy. No, but now, like The Rock said, oh, it's cool again. So everybody jumping on it. Okay, well let's keep nostalgia alive by keeping, some of the foundation of the stuff that we grew up watching, not just giving it every now and again, because we have superstars that still want to give that. Drew McIntyre is one that still wants to give that, and you see it. Karrion Kross was one that was still trying to give that. When that man busted his nose and then he went on to kiss Scarlett with the blood all over his face and on her face, I said, if this ain't some attitude era ECW type stuff, and I
This
loved it because I was like, yes, they're giving
they
us,
know
they're
because
giving
they're
us
pro
more.
wrestling. That's the other thing that I've heard recently. Like people talk about like, oh, there's WWE and then there's pro wrestling. I think Tony Storm
Mm-hmm.
said that on either MVP's podcast or Sandman's podcast. Somebody, I think she said it. There's WWE and then there's pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what the line is. I love pro wrestling. WWE right now is in a pocket where I really don't want to watch the product because y'all are being boring and y'all are placating to whatever shareholders y'all got and all the people that you
Yeah,
gotta pay or
yeah.
gotta put on for the fact that you're using their name and endorsing stuff. So like I will definitely take all my business over here to AEW for a minute. I'll go watch TNA, even though they're associated. TNA is even still giving you some of the pro wrestling type stuff. And then I've even started getting into Japan to see like what they're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's
was thinking
like,
about getting into Japan too. When I was thinking about that yesterday when I was thinking about all the different promotions that that's out there that has this talent, and I won't see it until some point they end up at WWE. But then you hear Michael Cole and Corey Graves and the commentators talking about it like, hey, he's from such and such. He was wreaking havoc over in Japan, and he's a such and such time champion. And I'm like, who is this guy? I never heard of him. But that's how I felt when Rey Mysterio came into the fold. I didn't know that they. I know. Yeah, I did. I knew Rey Mysterio was in WCW, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. But when he came over, I would never forget his debut match, and I was blown away. I was blown away. The way I was blown away by Rey Mysterio is the same way I was blown away back in April when I saw Ray Phoenix's debut match. Even though he's been around for a while, him and Penta. but I've never heard of either of them or never seen them. And it's like, dang, they cold. They probably been wrestling for years back in their younger years.
Had you been watching AEW beforehand, they was in there.
Heard that they were like they were tag team, and I
Best
didn't.
tag team, best tag team
Man,
match I had ever seen in my life.
them I didn't know about. Uh, did they come from AEW? Did Gargano and John and Tommaso, did they come from there?
Nah,
Or did they come from TNA?
AEW wasn't around by then.
Okay.
But they had been all over the indies by the time they got to WWE.
I felt like they were in TNA at some point. I don't know why.
They
I feel
might
like
have
they
been on TNA or Impact. They might have been.
yeah. But a lot of those stars, but that goes all the way back to the stars that we love. How they came from different promotions.
Yeah.
But
even though it wasn't necessarily as big, like there was ECW, which was like the biggest one, WCW, but then like AWA, NWA, like you knew about them, but they wasn't like huge as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
And then Vince started eating all of them to get WWE. So,
hey, he did what he had to do. I'm on that part in the documentary when he was going around, but everybody they didn't like that. But Vince was at the bigger picture, and I felt like that's why he is has one of the greatest minds.
Up until a point. Not every idea was a great idea.
But you know what?
But he had a mind for business. I'll give him that.
But I'm gonna say that's with anybody. I can say that's with anybody, any profession. Not every idea is going to be a great idea, and it's not. But the foundation of it, what he did then, is exactly what they're still doing now. He planted that seed because back then, everybody that was in these different regions, they had that agreement that we're not going to step into this territory. You promote in Georgia, I promote only in Chicago and Detroit. You promote here. Vince was like, okay, and when he learned the business and bought it from his dad, nah, I want to go everywhere. That's how you become globally known. So that's what he did, and he said that promoters he was always getting threats. It was always back then. He said, "Why does these guys they were obsessed with talking about?" They were telling Vince's dad, "Your son is going to end up at the bottom of a lake." He said, "I don't know what was up with these guys and obsessed with lakes and bottoms of lakes, but that's what they always told me." But he looked at it like, "You don't own this territory, and you don't. Yeah, y'all might have had some type of agreement, but I don't want to stay in just the pro wrestling realm. I want to take this above and beyond." And if they would have caught on, and it's too little too late when other people start catching on to it, but he planted that seed to say, nah, we need to be known everywhere. And that was smart of him to do that because no wrestling promotions were doing that. So I look at the AEWs now, they're just stigmas from the original. So that's why I say that Vince definitely, made his mark, and that he was born to do this. When he started back then, and it started just seeing how it has progressed on. It still has his foundation as far as them, just going to different countries and going outside. Now they're taking it a step further and they want to go to different countries now. And people were talking about the whole Saudi Arabia thing, but not knowing that, first of all, Vince is the one that initiated that. They were just having every now and again pay-per-views there. He initiated that. So now they're taking it a step further by having a WrestleMania there. So I believe a lot of stuff that they're doing business-wise, he probably would have did some of it. But Vince wasn't money hungry because Vince was already, he felt like I'm a freaking billionaire. So he were making ticket prices, family friendly. And he said that. I'm not going to charge my arm and leg. He would have a packaging. Because when we went, that's what my dad was getting. And that was really cool to have a family package ticket day. What? Because he feel like, what do we, like you already said, right? What are we trying to achieve?
What are you trying to prove? Because you want people to come, right? Make it affordable for them to come. You don't want just all the really affluent people to show up. You want the people who will give their money to it.
You know what they're caring about when they say, "Oh, the stars are out tonight." Who gives a crap? They're rich. Yeah, they're out. But you're about to lose your home audience because these stars aren't at home watching the shows. They got to go to work.
You definitely paying some of them to show up because the people who have specials on Netflix and whatnot, they're using that for advertisement. Y'all are paying them to be there. It's
Thank you.
clear.
Thank you. Versus then, when you had back then, you had stars like Dennis Rodman said, forget that. I'm going to miss my practice to go work to be on the wrestling show. They had them, like you said, wanting to be a part. They wanted to be a part of with the wrestling world. Y'all didn't have to do that. Mike Tyson and all the like, what? You wanted to be a part of what we got going on.
Exactly.
I don't
So,
get it.
with that being said, let's talk about WrestlePalooza. No, before
Uh,
that, bump that before we get there because that's a disappointment. AJ Lee is back. I picked the absolute perfect time to come back to wrestling. I have gotten everything that I've wanted because I was like, man, I would love for AJ Lee to come back. I would love for CM Punk to come back. I've gotten everything I wanted.
yes, you haven't seen them for a while, and everybody's been feeling that. Like at the time, of course, everyone wanted to see Punk to come back, but I kind of just gave up on it, and it's crazy because the night that he came back was when I said, you know what, I'm not going to doubt. I'm not going to doubt WWE. I'm not. And I always say this, I may have my disappointing moments, but at the end of the day, they do not let me down. They bring me back some type of way. It's like a freaking drug. They
Always.
find a way to bring me back. I could be mad about something. I was mad about when John Cena lost his title and they talk about 4 months left. And look, my reaction video is crazy because that was real. Nobody expected Brock Lesnar to come back. My heart almost jumped out of my chest at the oh man. So for AJ to come back and when CM Punk came back, I will never forget the SmackDown before Survivor Series, sitting next to the man, and everybody in my section is CM Punk, and I'm just like, y'all know I'm like, shut up. I'm like, y'all know he's not coming back. Like, y'all keep saying this. Y'all been saying this for 10 years. Like, that man is done. Did y'all not see the interviews that he was giving earlier this year, the issues between him and Seth Rollins? Like, and he ain't coming back. Never thought that. So to me, one of the guys said, oh no, we know he's not. It's just a regular thing because he's from Chicago. We're here. We just do that. It's kind of like an Amish thing. And I said, you know what? I get that. All right, CM Punk. Okay. I see the signs. You just a sign of respect, I guess. Like, yeah, we gonna chant his name. We Chicago. Cool. Which is exactly why at the end of the night of Survivor Series, nobody knew. Nobody knew. And I love the fact that nobody knew and not even production knew. I love a good kept secret. I love it. Because Michael Cole did not know. And Triple H did that on purpose by keeping everybody out of the loop. Everybody. CM Punk literally came as the match was ending in a hoodie coming around. Hurry up, sign like that contract or whatever. And he shot right out there. Like, never say never when it comes to the WWE, just because I feel like with any superstar, and Triple H have said this, and I believe that he means it, you can always come home. And I never thought that would have been a possibility between those two, but you know what? I have to think about it because we're older now. And the choices I made in my 20s, I wouldn't dare make them in my 30s. And you know, you mature as you get older and you go through stuff, you go through life, and you even start having revelations about yourself, like, you know what? Maybe I am like this. Maybe I do need to change my way of thinking. Because CM Punk and Triple H, to me, they have so many similarities and probably didn't even realize it. Both headstrong. CM Punk is like, look, CM Punk to me was like how Triple H that Rebel was when DX first started. It was kind of like that, man. They're that. And CM Punk is that punk rock. I follow my own rules. You're not going to tell me what it is. And he said his whole reason was when he started coming to the company, Hunter, you were on the roster with me. You a wrestler just like me. As soon as you know, now you corporate, and he looking like I ain't got to listen to you. Like, you was just wrestling with. So it was a lot. It was a lot, and they were younger, and now I feel like they're more mature and wiser. And him coming back blew the roof off that mug. AJ Lee coming back, I thought would never happen because she said it wasn't happening. That she hung that part of herself up. She is an author now. She's focused on that. I've been following her since college, and I just accepted it too. That it was like, okay, I'll just follow her social media, see what new comics she has coming out. Like, never thought that was possible. Never thought it was possible. And I like the way they were trying to tease other stuff because I'm like, they're gonna give us Rhea Ripley because or they're gonna give us not even just Rhea, but him and Bailey have a good relationship. They're gonna give us Bailey because he was meant. But I like that he paid attention to that because he mentioned both names before she came out. Like I can call up Rhea, I can call up Bailey or whatever. But man, that woman came out when that music hit. I screamed so loud. And then I cried. I cried like this is my sister, my long lost sister. Me and you, I was never apart. That's how I cried. Because, girl, girl, you're back. And you ain't missed a beat.
Not at all.
You
Everything she
skipped
do is
around
still
there.
clean. Everything she doing is clean. Everything, all the wrestling, all the promo, she didn't lose nothing.
Nothing. She came when she wiped her feet on that apron and got in. CM Punk was like, because it was literally like a nostalgia thing. Like, oh my god, are we really witnessing this right now? Like her skipping, her facial expressions, like set you up. I miss her and seeing Becky just tremble with fear in the ring. It's like this chick is really here, and we all know she's unpredictable. She can be erratic. You don't know what you're gonna get when they come to AJ. And when she sat on them turnbuckles, on the ropes, man, I'm like, Lil Roxy, Lil Liv, this is the original. That's the original sitting on the ropes.
Well, well, that's Roxanne's mom, so
well, yeah. But again, I was saying it to my own child. Original. I tell my brothers that all the time. I am the blueprint that y'all look the way y'all look. Y'all are lucky. You should be grateful and happy because I started this in the womb. So y'all, you're welcome. But yeah, so it just feels good.
now
I
hopefully
feel
it's
like
not
we're
just
walking
a
on
one off.
air.
Hopefully it's just
Huh?
not a one off.
Absolutely not. I don't think so.
Hopefully
Um.
she actually extends to
Oh, you
another storyline because her and
know? Did you
Becky,
know
what?
her contract is for some years. She's going to be
Oh,
here for a minute. Yeah, she's on the hefty, a lengthy contract. So
oh, okay.
she said that she's back dedicating herself to wrestling again. She wants to. This is a new chapter for
Oh,
her, and now doing it
she's gonna make
along.
some monsters if she's
Oh yeah.
training with
Oh
them.
yeah.
Roxanne for sure is going to be a monster by the end of this.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, she can help all of the women elevate because that's what's needed. And hopefully she takes if they give somebody who can, I guess, book the women or like develop the women the way that we need to, and it's
Uh huh.
her, we're cooking. We're good. Because she understands what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it's
She
not to say
understands the
that
assignment.
the men that are in charge now that are booking them and whatnot haven't been, doing their thing. But it's like y'all slipping a little bit because y'all reusing people. Oh, that's all you're doing. You just replaying stuff.
Honestly, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Oz. I feel like when it come down to now that AJ's back, the Raw's women roster, we good. I feel like we're set. I really think about it, and I'm even going to name the stars that I'm not too fond of as well. But when I think about their in-ring ability, Raw's women's roster is stacked. You got Rhea Ripley, you have Raquel, Roxanne, Liv Morgan,
Stephanie,
now AJ Lee, Lyra, Bailey, Becky. You have
Stephanie,
all of the no Tiffany SmackDown.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, now, yes, Stephanie Vicaire. You have all of these women that are powerhouses that are just what is it? What you think about?
I'm trying to think of who SmackDown got.
SmackDown
I mean, you got
has
Charlotte, Alexa,
you have
Nia,
Nia, Charlotte, Alexa, Tiffany,
which we know,
Jade,
which neither one of us are really
Michi,
fans of.
who,
I said, which neither one of us are really fans of.
who,
I'm not a fan of Jade, and you're not a fan of Tiffany.
no, Michi, B Fab, and at times occasionally Candice LeRae. I'm trying to think of who else do they have. No, that's it. And if you think about the top people that are great in ring workers, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I guess you could put Tiffy in there. I'm not too fond of her, but I'll put her in there to say she knows what she's doing in the ring. You have four women. Oh
And
no, my girl. Wait, no. What is wait, no. What? And then I'm thinking about it's even more on the roster, on the Raw roster. How did I forget Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, all of these women? And it's like, who the heck
Raw is
is
stacked. Like you said, Raw is stacked.
Raw is stacked. Raw is stacked. Raw's women division is on lock. It's amazing. That's where all the action is. I'm trying to remember where Bianca Belair is. Is she
She on
SmackDown?
SmackDown. She's SmackDown.
She's on SmackDown. Okay. Well, Bianca's not there right now. So even with Liv being out on Raw, you still have so many other women storylines to go off of. The Judgment Day isn't lacking without Liv not being there. And I say that still all due respect to Liv, but saying in a way of they're so good that you got Roxanne and Raquel that it's like, okay, they could survive without Liv. They're roaring with her, but they could survive without her. But now it's like with SmackDown, that's why I feel like Nia keeps getting put into the title picture with Tiffany because ain't no other women can really stand up and stand the test of times. I mean, you got Julia over there, but as good as Julia is, why is she not being showcased?
We
Why
can't
is she
see her
even? Why the heck is she even hooked up with old girl?
because she can't talk. Yeah, she's supposed to
Neither
be
can
her
Shinsuke.
mouthpiece.
Neither can Shinsuke, and he was a great champion. He out there, Julia, go out there and do what you do in the ring.
They also need to give her something to do considering she got a contract. But one, I think she hurt herself the first match she had when she got called up, and then she got those done, and she
Oh,
was out for Kiana Jade.
oh,
She got those done, and then she was out for a while, and then when she came back, they got to do something with her. You can't just have her sit there. So she's Julia's
it makes
mouthpiece.
no sense. You keep having Michin go for the title. Oh yeah, and they got Zelina Vega.
Oh,
But you
Chelsea,
keep having
Chelsea. We forgot Chelsea.
oh, we forgot all about my girl Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire. Forgot all about them. Yes. Yes.
But again, compared to Raw, y'all not doing this.
Man, if they do this how they used to do, which I really wish they would with Survivor Series, I know they do War Games, but do it how was SmackDown versus Raw. And
Make
think about
make that
SmackDown
War
women
Games.
versus Raw. Do you know how? That's what they need to do. Do you know how cold that would be? That would be amazing to see them go neck and neck. And I'm sorry, but Raw was taking it. They were behind. Unless Bianca Belair comes back, they ain't got a chance, and they ain't got an icicle chance in hell. Because without her, you have, like I said, you got Charlotte Flair, you got Nia Jax, you got Tiffany. Bianca is such a good leader. She knows when to step back. She knows what powerhouse to use. She knows how to move in. Even when they had the War Games match and you seen Bianca and my girl Rhea on the same team. And remember they kept just going back and forth and it was like, man, you got both Bianca and Rhea. Who's the captain here? Yeah, remember they kept clashing a little bit in the beginning because it's like the other women know it's between these two because we ain't up there with them.
Right.
Like we right there, but we ain't up there with them. But to be completely honest, I feel like even with Rhea, and no disrespect to Rhea, but Bianca is just that girl, and she's just that type of leader that knows, how to strategize and do all of that, which is why the big three worked so well when it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely gonna have to get her up in there. I'm so upset. I'm not upset, but I am because I'm happy that she's starting a family. But I really wish my girl Naomi was still there.
Just when you get the title.
Just when you finally get the title. But you know what's crazy? And I was gonna say, God is funny because it's like you getting everything you ever wanted. When I really, really sit and think about it, Naomi, you've had one of the greatest years, and the year ain't even over with, and you at home right now. You came back into the business. You left the business because you were being underappreciated and undervalued, and then you made a mark, you know, in a different company, and then you come back and you get the love and the support that you need, and you get paired up with two of the top women in the business. Even Jay was a rookie, she was still considered like this top girl, this big free agent. So to put all three of them black women together, they dressing, they all of that, like they were just in sync, and we ain't never seen nothing like that. And it was just amazing to see her be involved in a storyline. All black women to be involved in this huge storyline where the jealousy, erupts, and she's just like, "This is my friend. I've been here longer than you. You're not gonna come in." And it was played perfectly. It was tremendous. And then she had one of the biggest, and I don't want to say monumental, but greatest character changes in the history of the company by going from being the glow, especially from being a woman, because most women, you can go from just being a face to a heel, face heel. We've seen that with Trish, we've seen it with Lita, we've seen it with Bianca. You could just go from a face to a heel. This woman not only transformed her genre of character, but she transformed herself, period. She was no longer glow Naomi. Her talk was even different. Everything, her aura was different. Everything about her just changed. And and I didn't know how they was gonna jump on the bandwagon with it, because everybody was so team Bianca and going behind the team Jade. And I know how WWE fans and the universe takes betrayals. So I didn't know how they would receive that. And I'm so glad that they looked at it like, man, she cold. She went on that mic and told EO Scott, I don't know what you just said. When I say I was floored.
And she's still doing stuff on Twitter.
That's why I said Naomi is one of the greatest women in the history of WWE, because she said, "Oh, I can't be there to cut a promo, but I'm still going to stay in character and talk my mess on Twitter." Like, her even acknowledging, I love the fact that now they're acknowledging their spouses. When she went out there, still in her character, but still acknowledging Jimmy, still saying the bloodline continues, even though we've never seen her mix up with the bloodline. But her acknowledging that, her even saying it was at the end of the show last week when Rhea came out, and she came out and was yeeting with Jimmy and Jay. So Jay went out to grab a kid in the audience who had a sign up that was like, for Jay. And Jimmy and Rhea was still in the ring, and they just laughing or whatever. So a fan took a picture and was just like, "Uh-oh," like she gets too close. And Naomi had retweeted and reposted it like, "Stop playing with me." Like, I will get up off this couch. Stop playing with me. I love that she's still her. Even when she reached out, and this was yesterday, to Stephanie Vaquer. She told that lady, "Congratulations, bitch. Now mail me my plates, my side plates." Girl, you do it too. She got to chill. Even when AJ Lee came back, our post went up on TikTok when I put that up. When AJ Lee came back, and she said, them heifers don't even deserve to be in the locker room with AJ. She said, now when I'm at home on my couch, pregnant, I'm not there to witness it. Because if you follow them, then you know that it's AJ, Naomi, and Bailey. Those three, they're best friends. And Sasha is involved in it too, but with Sasha being in a different company. But with those three, they're best friends, and that's why you would see CM Punk and Bailey together a lot at their lunch or whatever, because they're all good friends with each other. And I love that. I love that, because it's like they are co-workers, and somewhat they're like family. They go into these hotels, they on the same floors with each other. You don't know if they probably ride to the next city with each other. They're literally family with each other, and that's so cool to see. But yeah, her no, not being there, and AJ's not there. I know she like, you know what? Punching the air right now. Punching the air.
Okay, so we talked about AJ Lee. We talked about Stephanie Vaquer winning the title. Let's go ahead and talk about this disappointment.
We didn't talk about Stephanie Vaquer winning the title.
Let me use that as a segue. We trying to talk about WrestlePalooza. Sometimes let me cook. Just be like, okay, and then we gonna get there.
Okay.
We at least
Oh,
mentioned it. What's
I
up?
did want to mention something that I watched earlier, and I don't know. I wanted to be in the conversation with people because I feel like it's being overlooked a little bit. And this is the segment that's going on with Bailey.
Mm.
Everything that's going on with her right now, I'm digging it because in a way, this whole you're fighting the two personalities between being the hugger Bailey and then being the ding dong dummy Bailey is hilarious, but it's different. And it's kind of cool because it's kind of like that devil and angel on your shoulder. And it's like cool to all listen to. Now she hearing voices. Like you came out there after Lyra treated you bad. It was already having the segments every week, the promos that she was cutting, and then she came out to help her. Then she have a little spaz in the ring, and then she go hug the announcers, she hug the security and the referees, and she goes backstage, and Lyra goes back to check on her and to thank her, and you overhear her talking to herself, and then you hear somebody get thrown against the door, and you open it, and ain't nobody in it but Bailey, and she's sitting on the couch in her phone like nothing happened. And she's like, who are you talking to? And she, what? It's crazy. And then she snaps on her. After Lyra says thank you, she just goes off and she goes into calling Lyra an idiot, telling her not to come to her dressing room and she leaves out. So I need Bailey still to be in the conversation of the women right now because
Yeah.
Bailey doesn't have a title, no, but everybody still talk about Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and it's like first of all, and Mercedes Moné, but we're not gonna leave out one of the most important members of the Four Horsewomen, which is Bailey, because one thing Bailey is good at is character work, and I really can't wait to see what she's going to bring tonight on Monday Night Raw, because that right there to me was gold. That
Yeah.
was that was
No,
gold,
I'm
pure
definitely digging
acting.
that.
I loved it, and it also it's going to put Lyra in a different light because you already know and everybody know I do not mess with the Bird Lady, but I like to see Lyra's already phenomenal in the ring. I'll give her that; she's great. But I'm big on character work too, and to see Lyra how she's going to be emotionally with this because you got to be more. You could be a great wrestler and be boring. I've seen that. It was a wrestler back in the day during the Ruthless Aggression era. He came from the WCW, Lance Storm, amazing wrestler, no personality. And then they tried to build a storyline and a character on, okay, he has no personality. Let's put him with somebody where he does funny stuff in the back to give him a personality. It was cool for a couple of weeks, but it didn't really work. So that's why I say character work is very important. And Lyra didn't really have too much character to me. I like when she was spazzing on Becky, but to see
I'm a,
her working with Bailey, and it's to me, it's a little more emotional because they were friends. And then Lyra say, "I don't want to be your friend no more because you keep screwing me out of my matches and stuff like that, and probably not purposely, but we need a break from each other." So to see her emotions change,
I'm a,
yeah,
I'm gonna say something a little controversial.
what is it?
So the character that is a decent wrestler but has no personality. That's how I feel about Jay.
Wait, say it
Because
again.
that's how I feel about Jay. Jay
You feel
Uso.
like Jay?
He's boring to me. Like, yes, he has the yeet thing, but he's boring to me. Jimmy's the funny one.
You know what? As much as I love Jey Uso, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, and I can understand why you're saying that.
Because let me expound. Because when he won a rumble, everybody's like,
Mm-hmm,
we're riding the hype train of he got the yeet thing going on, and it's not
mm-hmm,
like we're behind you because like you're Stone Cold Steve Austin great, like you're talking on the mic like you're great. We behind
mm-hmm,
you off your dance and your energy.
mm-hmm.
You get the title. We all happy because you showed a little bit of personality when after Jimmy got beat up.
Mm-hmm.
So you win the title, then you lose the title, and then the most hype thing is when you start acting like you Roman. Again, using a personality that ain't really yours.
But then again, you know what? But I don't put you off on that one because I like that. I like the fact that he's not trying to be Roman. But thinking about who Roman is and Roman's values, and then you got to think about it's not just him doing that. This is who Roman wants him to be. This is who Roman is trying to turn him into. That last conversation they had before, I think it was Clash in Paris, and he's telling him, you need to stop thinking about everybody and say that's your problem. He said, you need to think about that's not getting you back to your world championship. That they ain't family, they don't matter. And that's the mindset you need to have. So Roman is the one that's planting the seeds. Even last week, before when Jimmy tagged up for LA Knight, Jay was on a phone call. And Jimmy came back there and Jay was leaving a voice message and he was like, man, I need to run something by you. Let me know what to do. Like if this play is good, what to do next. Or when I get me back, Jimmy come up. Who you talking to? Nobody. Everybody know you talking to Roman. Roman is the one that's putting this in you to make you act the way you acting and how you talking. And I like it because everybody keeps saying, oh, he's going to go back to being main event Jay. No, he's not. That's done. Being a right hand man, Jay Uso. No. Now he know what it's like to have gold. And now his character is going to turn and Jimmy is going to become a sympathetic character because Jay right now, I feel like is at a point when he speared LA Knight, I did not see that coming. I swear I did. And I usually see stuff coming.
Like I'm saying, that's when he started being interested in me because now you're exuding something. Beforehand, you was just I'm the yeet man. But now
you know what
you're exuding something.
I was telling my dad this too. I run a lot of stuff by him. That WWE's Unreal opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And when I start feel myself going back and forth in my head about certain decisions they make and certain superstars, I have to direct my attention back to that and saw the segments with Jay and with everything the producers were saying too. Like, he got it in him. We know he got it in him, but we can't make him take it or whatnot. It's either you want it or you don't. So Triple H is like, man, I really want to push him. So him saying, I'm going to put a rocket on your ass. And to do that, he said, but can you handle it? Because it's more than just this. You got to handle all of that. The mic work. Oh, you got to be quick with it. Because look at The Rock. I ain't never seen a Rock stump on the mic, ever. That man's promos is top tier. He was on it. And it's like, even when you think about Jimmy, to me, is more like The Rock in the sense of he know how to move the crowd. He know how to talk quick. He know how to throw some jokes in there. He's really good at that. Jay needs some work because he's trying to find his place. I feel like with Roman in the beginning too. Roman wasn't that good, but Roman looked at it as, okay, I'm the tribal chief. I don't have to come out here and talk fast and crack jokes because I'm the tribal chief. So I'm going to talk slow. I'm going to get to the point and y'all going to bow down and listen to what I say because I am. And I feel like now Jay's character, his problem, and when you think about it now, and I just thought about everything you said, Jay's problem, both professionally and personally, is that Jay was not believing in himself. Jay was not really looking at himself as being main event. That's a nice title. But he didn't look at himself as, he didn't think he would ever make it to the main event, but he did it. And I'm like, Jay, you can, but you really have to believe that that's where you belong. And I think his thing is, I've always been a tag team guy. I've always been in the shadow of my cousin Roman, who has always been on top since we were kids, who knew who he was. Roman always knew. Roman just needed that extra boost of confidence as well. And I think he just needed the right people around him. And that's how Paul Heyman and him, that was perfect. But Jay doesn't have a wise man. Jay has himself. And yeah, you got your brother. But look at your brother as far as being like an asset, yes. But he's not your lackey. And he can't go into this trying to be exactly how Roman was. You just got to take Roman's foundational his foundation, his values, and what he represented. Not you trying to throw your weight around, but you pretty much when you go out there. When Jay said we gonna go out there, we gonna smash them. Do it. Go out there and smash them. That's how you prove your dominance. Because Roman's music here, you knew. Oh shit, here he come. He finna come out here. He gonna say something. Boom. Now he beating you down. Now people like, okay, he beat you up. Then Roman's taking too far. Whoa, that's what Jay needs to do. You need to have the moments when you going out and you taking it too far so they can know, don't mess with me and I am not the one to play with. You don't want to hear my music. I can yeet with you all night. But that even has to come to a halt a little bit. Come out through the entrance way. Like they can yeet and they could do all that and that's cool. But he needs to start feeling that confidence within himself, because when The Rock will come out, yeah, they chanted Rocky, Rocky, but The Rock is standing on that stage and being the most confident person that he is, and he's just taking it all in. Jay, even on Unreal, they said that like Triple H mentioned, like, okay, he in the crowd, he gets to the ring, why is he winded? Like he gives too much energy out there. Like it's recognizable that you can see it. Like he looks tired, and he's not as sharp as he used to be. And I don't think putting him with Jimmy, I love it, but I feel like for him personally and him wanting to grow, it wasn't a good idea for his professional career, because he's been used to tagging out when I get tired. He needs to feel that. He needs to learn how to manage his breathing, learn how to manage his moves, not to go so hard in the beginning. He needs to figure out who he is as a singles superstar. And character-wise, I feel like we're getting there.
Oh,
Ring-wise,
character wise, he
character-wise,
definitely got it. He's
he
getting
got it.
there now because I feel like what everything that you said, that he needed to believe in himself, and then he
Yeah,
going to Roman for plays, but he also is like learning that he can't be exactly like that, because
yeah.
even with this match with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, he had a little bit of edge to him because he was still like almost hitting LA Knight, and he would
And I
get into
thought he
it in his
was.
face.
And
Thought they was gonna get into it.
I thought they was gonna get into it, but then a part of me is like, okay, he's still good guy Jay, because he
Because what he
could
did
have,
at the end.
huh?
Because what he did at the end when he pushed him out the way and Bronson speared.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. Even when he
Bronson
had the
speared.
chair, yeah, even when he had the chair, I'm like, oh, please don't get into it. And I think that when he did that, Jay wasn't doing it as a sense of I really got beef with you, but even after he speared him on Raw, he said, Jimmy, like, oh, what the heck? And no,
We
we
good now?
good now. Now we good. So leave it at that. He felt like, that's my lick back. Take that. And when I looked at it like, look, I wasn't ever trying to attack you or do none of that. I don't got no issues with you, but now you just did blindsided me. And that's why Ellen and I did it to him last week. Jimmy is just like, bro, like, we all got the same common enemy. And if Jay wants to be even half of what Roman is, as far as the dominance of being the tribal chief and being the leader and being the head, you got to know how to maneuver. You got to know how to, even if you don't be friends with LA Knight, learn how to master manipulate the situation. Learn how to sit there and use him to your advantage to get there. Dominic Mysterio is the best in the game when it comes to that. I'm going to use you for what I need to use you for, because Americano come out every time. It ensures that Dom stays on top. And I'm so happy that Dom, he's so smart. He's so smart. Like he said, 20 years. He's been in this 20 years since he was a little kid, literally. Shoot. Ain't nobody been in a company like that since Stephanie McMahon. So yes, Dom, that is amazing. Jay needs to take some notes, because this is crazy. Like, I want to see him be dominant and brutal and just get out there and do it, because I know that he can. And it's like, Jimmy, just get on board. But Jimmy now, good guy Jimmy. And like he said, he's not going to follow what Jay is saying, because why? You ain't got no Ula follow around your neck. And that's where the problem is, because he also needs Jimmy to, dare I say it, fall in line. I need you to rock with me and be on my side, because I'm trying to get to this place and get us back to where we were. Roman's not here. So this whole us trying to be cool with everybody, we can, what's up, be cool. But we need to be locked in with each other. And they do.
And
They really, really do.
and I'd be cool with that, right? But I want them to both be together but singles. Like I want Jay to go get his title back, and then I want Jimmy to get the Intercontinental title. Like I want them to be together, but I don't want them as a tag team anymore, because I feel like that's where they need to go. Like we already been conquered tag team wrestling. We need singles. So let's go get that together.
Right. I feel that. I feel that. And I'm completely, that could work. That could work. And Jay becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion, and then Jimmy goes ahead and he gets the Intercontinental Championship. They could run Raw.
And then
By the
Roman
time
comes back.
when Roman comes back and that man captures the WWE Championship and they really running that company, that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level, and I would be completely fine with that. I would be completely fine with that because, man, imagine in a crazy world if all of them, Solo, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, Jacob, all of them could be on the same page with each other and literally run each brand, starting from Raw and SmackDown, and you bring Zilla over, and he's in NXT, and he's running it there, and the entire bloodline runs the entire WWE.
That would be
That
a
would
hell
be
of a storyline. They
wild.
would be terrorizing people. That
I
would
mean,
if
no
we could write
title.
that.
I mean, no title, no. Every title belongs to them, all the way to the NXT. If you want, because I know it's so many of them. So it's like if we got the tag team championships here on the main roster. All right, well, you know what? Two of y'all go over there and take them tag team championships from NXT, and we finna take over for real. And they do that, and then you get the women involved, and they take the women's championships.
Naomi come back. Nia is over there on SmackDown already. That okay. I've had this idea before, and I did it on the game where I created a team where a faction where it was one faction named Checkmate, and all of them worked together, but they was on different shows claiming each of the titles and whatnot. That's exactly what you describing. Exactly what you describing. Everybody is on different shows, but they're all working together to get all the titles.
Checkmate. That's probably cold name. I give it that. That's cold name. Imagine saying that in a promo. That's like your end. That's just like your end. Like I'm saying it over commentary. Every time it's like a brutal beatdown, and it's just like that's all you can say. Check. Like it just makes sense. That gives me a little chills a little bit. I like that. That's nice.
That tells you I need to either be right or I need to be there. So somebody needs to tell me something. Tell me come join the PC. Tell me come join the writers room. Something.
Some man. I don't care if I got to go in the lights room, but I'm just okay. I just need you to go here and just take some notes. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And every now and again, you ask my opinion, how I feel about something, I'll let you know. So, so with this thing with Cody, how do you think? No. Anything with Cody? No, I disagree.
But Lola, he's the champion. What do you mean? No, he's the champ. We got to do something with him.
You know what we could do with him? We could take the title off.
But
how about we?
Because you know what, Drew should have that damn title. I'm tired of Drew McIntyre being screwed.
Out of his championship. Say we're sponsoring Kisses. This is our butter gloss. Yes, you. All right. But yes, Drew was screwed out of his championship. And I feel like this was such a booty match. I have been waiting for this match for weeks now. Drew already didn't kick this man's head off his shoulders. And then y'all gonna give us this at WrestlePalooza? Was Drew sleepy? Was he partying or drinking the night before? Did he have a tummy ache? Because that is the only explanation that gives why the heck is Cody still champion? And why did y'all make Drew look weak? He's not weak. What is this? But then I think about it. And I really hope that he's not really injured. Because things have happened where they've gotten injured and you had no choice but to change it on the fly. So we've seen that happen with
CM Punk.
We've seen it happen with CM Punk. We've seen it happen with Seth Rollins and his knee. The crazy thing about it with the whole knee thing, did you know that wasn't it? It is wild that he really did lie about it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's what's crazy. That's why I say with his knee, how they just figured, man, he really got hurt. But for Seth, you got to have some type of, but you can only be a top star, I feel like, to really even try to pull a war over the higher ups. Because to go as far as the only person who knew was Becky, and even she got to play along with it. You going as far as going to your daughter's school, she thinks something wrong with your leg too. That you really taking this like, yeah, something wrong. You said, I got to see doctors here, blah, blah. Damn, Seth's finna be out. So It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a
So
lot.
yeah. So Cody's still
Yeah.
champion. Okay, whatever.
Nobody
Um,
wanted this. He wanted him to be champion. I blame the referee because why did you try to stop him from doing a move that's
don't kick him
legal?
through the table. Is that any of
Who?
your business? Is that
You know
any of
what?
your business?
You know what Becky Lynch had mentioned over the weekend about corrupt referees and tried to say that about what is her name? What is her name? What is her name? What is her name? Oh man, I can't remember the referee's name. Jessica
Uh,
Carr.
yeah.
Jessica Carr, and was saying that it was a bee in her face. She wasn't tapping. She was swearing to be. It was funny how she imported that little whatever fake bee in there. It was hilarious. But this referee in the match with Cody and Drew, oh yeah, you went cahoots with Cody. Because why would you stop him from doing a move that wasn't illegal? He just kicking him. That's like the punt. It ain't no legal move. I kicked him in the hand, and you're gonna stop me from doing it. And then I missed, and then I really hope that he did not mess up his knee. I really hope that he did not, but he couldn't even stand. Like the man could barely even stand, like it was hurt. That's just the same what happened with Io. Now she's injured. I think she is slightly injured because even at the end of the match, if you watch it, when she was done and she was after her a hug, that's why Io got on her knees and was doing this. She couldn't stand up from her knee. And then when she was done and she did that and Stephanie went to pander to the crowd, Io
Hopefully
tried
she
to
just
stand
can
up and
sell really
oh,
well. Hopefully she's selling really well.
I don't know. I really hope so. I really hope so because that landing was crazy. And she kept working at it and she did that dragon screw in the corner on her knee. And they said they could pop a little ligament, pop something out of place. And when she was leaving out the ring, that's why I feel like the camera wasn't even on her for I just seen it. Like Stephanie was going to her dad. Io tried to stand to get out and she was like, yeah. And she fell down and she rolled out the ring and they had to help her. She couldn't even stand on it. So it's been some crazy injuries and stuff that's going on with the leg and the knee is the worst thing. Charlotte Flack can tell you that. Triple H can tell you that. That's the worst injury you have. Because you better hope that ain't gonna do with your quad. But especially with Io uses her legs a lot. But with Drew, I've never seen, even in the match that he had with CM Punk, there was a brutal battle, but it was a battle. So when CM Punk won, it was justified. It was like, man, that was a hell of a match. It was to the point you like, ooh, good thing this old because they was finna kill each other. It was that type of match. This versus
This was
Drew and
garbage.
Cody.
This was garbage. This was WrestlePalooza.
Drew and Cody's match is equivalent to John Cena and Cody's match at WrestleMania when John Cena just whooped him down like the little bitch that he is. This was stupid. WrestlePalooza, I give it a
Speaking of
three.
another dumb match with John Cena in it.
Please don't.
Um,
Please don't.
yeah, that's what we talk
No,
about it. This is what we do.
no.
We're Lights Camera Wrestling. We gotta talk about it.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk.
Did 6 on this man. Why? What was the point? What was the purpose behind this? Y'all putting Brock over in John Cena's retirement?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I just gotta go ahead and say it. Brock Lesnar, kiss my ass. Hate you. Even though I love you, and I'm so glad that you're back.
She said that. Remember, she said that.
Because why? Why would you do this? First of all, this is why I'm upset because the little girl in me is crying right now. Brock, you already traumatized me as a kid when you decided to pick John Cena up and F5 his leg into the ring post, which caused him to have issues with his knee. He was out for some months. And then that's when John Cena came back, and that's when he had to move the FU. That was to Brock. He was mocking him as far as the F5, and he named the FU because that was the FU to Brock Lesnar. You've been picking with my man since the OVW days. Okay, this is crazy. And then you have these matches with him. You're always terrorizing him. You leave, come back. John Cena is a different John Cena in 2012. You made your return after coming back from UFC. He puts his hand out, and you decide to F5 him. And then you have a match, and you want to take my man to Suplex City. And then y'all get in the ring, and you bust his lip, even though y'all had a huge brawl. Then John Cena finally comes on top like 2 times out of the 4 times they fought. But this right here was just unnecessary because what is your problem? I really want to understand what's his problem with John Cena. What did he do to you? Did he steal your woman at some point? Like, what did he do? Because why do you have to do him like that? This is John Cena's retirement tour. Brock, you and John started around the same time. Like, come on, man. Y'all literally, like, y'all, you, him, Randy Orton, Batista. Y'all like the Four Brothers. It's like, what was this for? And he's not even saying anything. He's not even giving a reason why.
No reason whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just here to whoop your ass and then go. Like, what why? Did he,
This
what
is
he do?
equivalent.
Because he
This is
leaving? Are
equivalent
you...
to, this is literally equivalent to what he did to Cody Rhodes. When he was supposed to be Cody's tag team partner, he just beat him up for like 3 months straight. And it was just like, bro, where's this coming from? Like, I wasn't mad at Cody. But again, like, why you beat him up like that? And with John Cena, you come back after this man had that wonderful match with Cody at SummerSlam to F5 him. And then you did it again in Chicago twice. I don't understand the reasoning. And then he says his retirement tour in the interview, he said, I'm going to get up. He's going to F up his retirement tour. Are you upset that, and I can't wait for them because you know they got to talk to each other. At some point, they're going to have to address each other on the mic. And if Brock says that the reason him doing this because you don't want him to leave, this would be the most craziest, funniest segment I have ever seen.
If Brock gets sentimental, I'm going to cry laughing. Like, I don't want him to go. So F5 him is the...
You leave. He literally, do you know what type of domestic relationship this is? Leave, I'll beat your ass. Like, what is wrong with you? He's leaving. And you figure, oh, okay, he got a couple months, I'm going to beat him down so he don't go. That is such a me and my bestie Nakia used to always either do this, and when someone was outrageous, we scratch our whole head. That's a whole hand scratch because that doesn't make any sense. He didn't do anything. You could have came out, hey man, old time's sake, man, we'd have been through a lot. Man, you retiring, that's good. You retiring on your own terms. Man, like I'll be right behind you, but you know, this is great. No, you said, for one, I'm in awe of this man. All personal aside, in awe of Brock Lesnar, of how well this man has been in shape. Like, John Cena is not the same powerhouse John Cena he was, in his earlier years. The same with any of them, Randy Orton. They're not as quick as they were. They're still amazing in the ring. But it's like, no, I'll say that. Randy's...
Well, Randy's not as fast. Randy's just big as hell now. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's why I say his agility, his quickness is different now because he's bigger now. So now your weight class go up. He's doing different stuff. Now he's more technical. I'm slamming. I'm doing this a little bit more because I'm bigger. So, but for Brock to have pretty much not only been damn near the same size, if not bigger than he was, the man has become even more dominant and brutal than he has ever been when he was the next big thing. He go to UFC, he came back with a vengeance, and now he's older. So you got to take it to the whole, when you get older, you get wiser. So now it's like, man, this ring this is home to me. I'm the best in here, and I'm about to mess you up. That man get in there and go crazy every time. It's like it was hard for John Cena.
He ain't as big as he was. He big, but he ain't big as he was. But he's leaned out a little bit because he's more shredded. Yeah.
He's only leaned out in here. Yeah. When I looked at them pictures that he took, and he's here and here. Oh no. He's bigger.
I don't know what to tell you. That man and his family are just genetic wonders because he is a monster. Sable is beautiful. His daughter from his first marriage is a monster within herself because she's a collegiate shot putter. I think that's how you say it.
That girl is over there cleaning house. She is her daddy's daughter. Like, she over there
good Lord,
Tara, and it's like, dang, girl, do your thing. I'm proud of you.
What are y'all over there?
Rock is over there in what's it called, Saskatchewan, wherever he's at, created beef. They over there eating meat, nothing but no sides, no corn, meat, just all meat, and just going nuts in the gym. Like, the man is a genetic freak, and I freaking love it. But why, Rob? Please.
He'll tell us.
I can't wait till you tell us because I'm about sick of this. And then I'm not going to lie. I almost sent a message to Triple H because what we not going to do is during my man's retirement tour, have him looking like a weak punk bitch because he ain't.
I mean,
You already
It's
have him.
Brock Lesnar. How
No,
else is you gonna
no,
look?
no. Because my thing is this: just as much as I said, remember I just said that Brock Lesnar is not only bigger, but he's even wiser now because he's older. That means that John should be too because he is older. John can go out there on the mic and kill anybody on that microphone. He's older, so he is wiser and should be more ring aware. He has been in battles with Brock Lesnar, the same with how he was with CM Punk and with Randy Orton. If not, Brock, you had more of a, because he was around before y'all even made it mainstream. So you should know this man in and out the way that he knows you. John, you can't go into a match with the same type of moves and mentality. You know that he is going to come for attack first. Because he's bigger, he got to come for that. Lock it in. Lock him in the handlock or something. You have to become even more powerful, even more brutal to get to on his level. You have to be able to take it, but you have to be able to dish it because it's one thing to say, and he said this before, I built Suplex City. Well, yeah, John, because you sat there and let him suplex you 16 times in a match. Yeah, and guess what? He wasn't tired. John
That's not
Cena is
something to brag
over
about.
200. John Cena is over 250 pounds. I don't know if you looked at it like, man, I'm so big, Brock Lesnar pick me up. That makes Brock look dominant. There's nothing to brag about. But I think he was saying that in a way to say, like, oh, I never back down, never quit. Yeah, John, that's great. We get it. However, you need to come with it because this is your retirement tour. And as far as the history between you and Brock, you do not want to go down in history as John Cena, one of the GOATs. But Brock Lesnar's bitch. That's one person that he could never hold a candle to. He could beat anybody except for Brock. You don't want to have that asterisk by Brock Lesnar, John Cena, all these different accolades they have for him, and then right at the very bottom, but he couldn't beat Brock. We're not doing that. If you want to solidify yourself as being the greatest of all time, you got to go out there and go through the greatest battle that you've ever faced in your entire career, and that's Brock Lesnar as your rival. Randy Orton was a treat compared to him. Randy Orton was more psychological because Brock isn't a talker. Brock is an attacker. He's brutal. You don't see it coming, and when it happens, he doesn't stop. Randy will get in your head. Randy will get in your head. He will play the mass manipulator game. He would have you thinking all type of stuff, and then he strikes. He's menacing. Brock isn't menacing. Brock is brutal. He wants you to know he's coming. When Randy coming through the crowd, snake in the ring, slither in, RKO and slither out. Brock Lesnar wants that music to hit loud. He wants that crowd to go crazy. He wants the pyros to hit. And when he lets out that gigantic roar that he does, he wants you to know, I am coming for your ass. So, John, you already know this, and I'm going to need you to act like you know it. Because this is just wild. I feel like somebody needs to get John Cena some tough love. Because it's pissing me off that this should not be happening. My man has like 3 or 4 dates left, and we're not gonna end the retirement tour on all half of it. You were a heel and you were dominant and you were saying everything that we were thinking when it came down to Cody Rhodes and who he was as a champion, and pretty much screwed the crowd because they was back and forth with you over the years. And you go back to being a face again, only to lose your championship to the guy that you said when he holds it, it disgusts you. Hand it to him, raise his hand. Brock Lesnar comes back, and you go back into your shell. Wasn't you just a heel a week ago? How is that John not coming out to face Brock right now? Ain't no way Brock Lesnar should have gotten that ring and John Cena didn't get a lick off of him. This is crazy. And it's like I don't like that because it's like it's so many pieces unturned. Everybody
Well,
was looking for The Rock in this, and they shouldn't have been because The Rock had nothing to do with this for real. Like that's why
well,
I always said
when
he
it comes
didn't.
to John, I think we gotta let this cook because John gonna make sure that his last appearance is going to be something good. So we gotta let him cook on this.
Man, forget that.
We
Last
gotta let him
appearance is
cook.
one thing. But everybody know that. Of course, your last appearance gonna be the greatest. Trish Stratus, Edge, all of them. Yeah, it is. It's your last appearance. It's the fact that you only have about 3 more left,
Yeah,
and
and
you
let
let
him
Brock.
let him cook. He gonna whoop Brock's ass, but let him cook.
I don't like that. This was the inaugural pay per view.
This is basically the introduction to the last little bit of this story. That's all this is.
So no, I don't. You know why I say I don't like that? Because it's not like we have months left. We have 3 or 4 dates left. So what they're saying is that that's the case, that Brock is going to be John Cena's last opponent.
Who else would it
It,
be? Who else would be
that's
his last
what
opponent? Or who would you want?
I want.
Yeah, who would you want to be his last opponent?
In a perfect world, oh, I would want it to be Edge.
Okay.
I would have loved it to be him.
Okay, first
Just
off,
because
did you see the thing that Edge did?
I did, and my heart was filled with so much effing joy. Because when John did it, it was like, it made me mad. And this is why I keep saying, WWE, please
Thank
hire
you.
us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why the hell would y'all say that he's paying tribute or whatever he speared, and they gonna try to put that with Roman Reigns? That's not what he was doing. Everyone knew if
You
you
could at
got
least said Edge. You could at least said Edge because that's his WWE name. You didn't have to say Adam Copeland. You could have just said Edge.
he didn't even say Adam Copeland.
No, they just said, "Oh, look at him paying tribute to the big dog." No, he's paying tribute to Edge. Just say Edge.
But who was commentating? I think it was Michael Cole, and that pissed me off even more for him to say it, because Michael, you were there when he did this. Like, get up, who else does the spear when they're telling you their opponent to get up? You already know that was Edge. That's always been Edge. When he was holding it, pushing his hair back, that's Edge. That's Edge. Like, it really blew me, and I'm kind of glad that everybody else got it, that that's what he was doing. And that was just so cool to see. And that would just be a wonderful, wonderful send off, because Edge was John's first, I want to say, JBL is actually like his first, I'll say his first adversary, but Edge really solidified John as being the face of the company. Edge solidified John as being the ultimate baby face, the ultimate good guy, because when John first got the title, it was like, okay, Coach JBL want to come back because he was a wrestling god and he want to get his title back. When John went over to Raw, which is the flagship show for WWE, and John first battle, I think was with Chris Jericho. Yeah, it's like a triple threat match. Him, Chris Jericho, and I think it's Christian. But his first real bad guy that was like, oh, I can't stand this dude. Everybody couldn't stand Edge. Edge had the first Money in the Bank briefcase. He was going on this weird tantrum thing, but it was like he was unstoppable. Edge was coming out of his shell. Edge had took Lita away from Kane. This dude was unstoppable. He was the rated R superstar. Who can stop him? Oh, well, John Cena could, but they don't really have a feud going on right now, so we ain't really thinking about that. And then here comes New Year's Revolution. John goes through a brutal match. I think it was in an elimination chamber, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. I just know that John was bloody. Vince McMahon come out, Edge cashes in, and he set the tone for every single cash in that has ever happened in the WWE by doing that to John Cena, and broke it down, John Cena, and that just kicked off for a rival that was just egging on. It was like John Cena versus Lita and Edge every week. It was so cool. That was similar to The Rock and Triple H with Stephanie, like the back and forth, I'm the greatest, no, I'm the greatest, and I'm gonna do everything to get it, and you being Snake and finding an easy way out to get it, and it would just be phenomenal to see them, because out of everybody that I want to see on this retirement tour, I'll say they've gotten the key competitors right. I still believe his last opponent, it should have been Randy Orton. It shouldn't have been his first. Randy should have been the last. But the way they did it was cool. I believe it should have had a little more build up, because it's like, come on now, it's Randy Orton and John Cena. I liked how after he won, it was just the image of John Cena like, I'm the last champion. It's after WrestleMania, and Randy behind him, and everybody going crazy, and John don't see it. And he told everybody to get their cameras out to take a picture of the last wheelchair. He turned around, and the last thing he said was, "Shit," and pow, RKO. That was perfect, but yeah, I would like to see Randy. That should have been saved for a little later time. But yeah, perfect world, Edge for sure.
But we got Brock.
But we got,
there's
but
nobody
I'm
else.
not mad at it. I'm not mad at it just because of they started together, and he was John's first rival. Because when John came into the company, John was a good guy. He's babyface. He wasn't even Dr. Thugonomics yet. When John transitioned into that, and then even when he was babyface coming out in the trunks, that's when Brock sometimes would mess with him. And when he transitioned into being Dr. Thugonomics, and he's a bad guy, that's when, I think Brock was in the middle of being good guy, bad guy, and John Cena would just talk mess about him and his bribes. And he would talk about how, yeah, Brock's big, but he would call Brock stupid. And he would just talk mess. So Brock came out there and they had that match, and he just right into the ring post. I will never forget it because I was blue. I was blue. And it just kicked off from there. So I get that being he was his first rival, so they wanted to be his last. If they're going to not dedicate, but if he's going to be his last opponent and they're going to use these last few appearances to just deal with them two, I'm okay with it because it needs to be something. Like, it wasn't, they never had an encounter besides Brock coming out there and just F5ing him. There's no words, there's no reason why, and we need reasons why. We need something. And John already said about a week ago that he was, last Monday. He said, "Am I afraid of Brock Lesnar?" Yes. Well, you got to get out of that. So it has to be that. You got to conquer the beast. So that it makes sense for Brock to be the last because he is that. The same way with Cody. Brock is like that final character, which is why people wanted The Rock, because final boss. It made sense because it's like they had a huge, not only in WWE, but a huge public rivalry. They did not like each other in real life. Like, everything that went on that first year that John and they were saying to each other, they meant every word of it. They did not like each other. And when John came out and he called The Rock out on national television about writing his promo on his wrist, The Rock really took that and was like, he went off script and let him know The Rock is a 200, I think he said 280 or something pound man that will rip your throat out. Like, he was blue. You gonna try to embarrass me, who I'm known as being one of the very best, if not the best, on the mic. And yeah, I may have had to do that because I'm probably a little ring rusty, but to call it out in front of everybody, that really hurt The Rock's character of The Rock.
Yeah.
Because everybody know when they say who the greatest on the microphone, for it's The Rock, then it's this, then it's that. Everybody know promos, like, dang, The Rock is just that good. He come off this shit top of his head. Yeah, then John came along, and then John became one of the greatest on the mic, and then John is like, oh, The Rock is known as the greatest, but I know how great I am, but what's that? And he said he's seen it on the monitor backstage. What's that on his wrist? And he said a referee was like, I think that's right, and he says, okay, I'm gonna use that. So John was wild for doing that and kicking that off. And Rock was wild for calling my man's Fruity Pebbles, but you know what? Thank you for that because he was able to endorse and get money off of that. But
so basically, look, I wanted Rock to be a part of this at some fashion, but clearly we're not getting it. And then The Rock done slowed down, so I don't know what that's about, but I think his in ring is done.
Because it's so he did make a statement. And like I said, with WWE, it's so many twists and turns. And it's so many things that they will tell us, but I feel like they tell us to throw us off cue sometimes. Now, I knew The Rock, he just finished doing the Smashing Machine movie. I am going to go see that. Are you going to go see it? I really want to see it. I look like it's going to be amazing. So, It don't even look like him. And I love The Rock in movies, period, anyway. But yeah, so that's going to come out, and they say he got small because he has another role that it's a documentary. Some role he's playing this other person. I think he had to get small for that. But he was saying how he was dedicating his time right now. He was stepping away from the ring for a little bit, and he was dedicating his time to just the movies and stuff. But again, I don't know how true that is, because I know that sometimes they like to do stuff to try to throw us off. Every time they say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and focus here," WWE is like a drug to them too. And Nick Khan said recently, if you ask The Rock, he has a lot of businesses and a lot of things that he has his hands in, a lot of projects. But if you ask him what's his favorite business, I guarantee you, without hesitation, he will tell you WWE, because it's his home. And I honestly believe that, he's gonna make some type of appearance, because you have to, because it doesn't make sense. And because now that you're a board member, I'm not gonna say that you gotta give back, but you do. You're The Rock. And because you're the one that kind of, in a way, in our heads as being fans, you kicked it off for John to become heel. Even though we knew it was nothing to do with the selling of the soul. I found that on WWE's Unreal, and they mentioned that. It has nothing to do with that. But Triple H said, but do you want it to be like you and John already had a plan in place? And Rock said, yeah, I do. So they can know that it wasn't just, he said, do you want it to be like, oh, well, Cody didn't take it, Rock and John made up in his mind right there. Well, kick, I'll take it. Rock said no. He wanted it to be like, this isn't a whole selling your soul thing, but because John and I have been in this for a while, we know that business is business. And it's like, we had to do. So he has to. You got to show up. They can mention Travis Scott all they want to. And I came up with this over the weekend.
I don't think they brought him. They brought him up since, because I know they had a whole falling out with him and the whole.
Oh yeah, no, they haven't.
So.
They haven't. They ain't brought up Travis Scott since. They said that his relationship with WWE is terminated. He messed that up, because they really do run on timing, and what I've learned from them is they do their scripts show to show. Nothing is like, and that's smart. No, that's smart.
I know if you gotta make a change on the fly, cool, but have at least the story be. I do have to watch Unreal at this point. If you got story beats that you need this to start and this is the finish, at least have that.
Sometimes, because you gotta think of it. If you a wrestler, and if you one of my top guys, and say I got you against Seth Rollins, and y'all got a feud that's going on, well, we in Davenport, Iowa tonight. That's Seth Rollins' hometown. You go there and you try to get a word in, and they boo your ass out the building. But even though on the script we had all this lined up, they have to go off of what the crowd is feeling as well. So it's like, I can't just make this because then we got to change something. No, we got to listen to them too, because if they're feeling this, we got to go with that. If they're not feeling that, then it's like, okay, like now we done got all this work done. It's like, no, they ain't really rocking as they want. Now we got to throw no. So it makes sense. They were showing that after Monday Night Raws, when the show goes off and the wrestlers go on the road or whatever it is, hotel or the next city, Triple H goes back to the headquarters with the writers, and they have it on the board. Okay, successful night. Now, what are we doing next? Blah, blah. And that's how they go into the next segment of it. Because even when they're going off of championship matches and who they feeling, if a crowd is chanting somebody's name continuously throughout the time, it's like, okay, we got to pay attention to that, because tonight they were chanting for Oz. And I think they want him to win Royal Rumble. We can't ignore it, because
unless you're carrying Cross.
You said what?
I said unless you're carrying Cross.
But here's the thing. And this is what I found out, even Karrion Cross. They didn't want to let Karrion go. They wanted Karrion. They didn't want Scarlett. And Karrion said, we are a package deal. And he said they had a contract. He said that. He said they had a contract for me, but they didn't have one for her. So in a way, it's like, we want Cross. They get that. Yeah, cool. But they didn't look at her as too much being an asset. And Karrion, he took a sacrifice. He took a sacrifice for his wife. That is like, you know what? There is no me without her. She's on my song. She plays a part. The menace and all of that. Like she does. I felt like she should have did more because she's beautiful, yes. But when she was standing there and they'll be in the back and she will have a little words to say, they should have used her a little more.
They
They should have
should.
used her definitely. She could have been like a Stephanie McMahon. She's not a wrestler, but she
No,
is.
no, she is. She has whole matches. She can wrestle. They won't let
She
her.
can. She can wrestle. But I think, well, they were trying to use her like that. She's beautiful. She's this. Okay, we'll use her as being some type of master manipulator. Like, yeah, Karrion may have these thoughts, but how real whispering in Dom's ear, keep that going. Have her go over and she's going into the get how they was having Karrion whisper in the dark, like behind when superstars be backstage. They should have been using Scarlett to do the same. That because she's a woman, she's beautiful, she could be more convincing to his opponents. Well, yeah, you know, shit, and all of that to her advantage. They should have used her better. So he knows her potential and her ability and all of that. And he's just like, look, it's not just Karrion. It's Karrion and Scarlett. We work together and they didn't have nothing for her. But I say give it a little time. I say give it a little time. And I say that because I know that Triple H, Karrion was one of his guys. He was one of his guys all the way in NXT. And I think he really has high hopes for him. And Karrion has said multiple times, me and my wife, we want to be the WWE. That's no question. If they have something for us, then yeah. But I think that they should really consider that because if y'all can have damn Michi in there and B-Fab, then y'all could bear and have Scarlett. I'd rather see Scarlett than them.
And don't bring
Sorry,
him
y'all.
back on some pity stuff and then not do nothing with him like you're doing with R-Truth.
Hey, hey,
No, 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 no,
hey.
no, no, no. Because R-Truth, we wanted R-Truth the way we wanted him when he came. Once him and John Cena had the match, then they let him go, and then they brought him back, and he cut his hair, and after that, we basically got nothing. Like, y'all didn't do nothing with him after he cut his hair. And then y'all should have let that ride out, and it should have been him and John for a while, and he should have been the one to bring him back to the light side. Instead of Cody. What y'all did nothing with
Cody,
him.
it made no sense because in
And then,
NXT, there was
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna let you get back to it. And then he comes back. Turns good. He turns good. Makes perfect sense in a weird way. But then he gets F5 by Brock first or second. But either way,
well, no, that makes sense for him to get F5 by Brock. That I understood. The whole changing of him, it was like because what they're trying to do is mirroring each other. That's why he said I'm Ron Cena. Like even when it's like, well, John Cena turned heel and turned bad, so R-Truth cut his hair, and now he's wearing all black, and he's not as fun loving as he used to be, and he's more aggressive and brutal because John is. Well, John's back, and now he's like, that's when I like to do the mirror thing. Like you're back, that means I'm back. So it made sense, but then again, like you said, I really wish that R-Truth was the person that would have changed him back because he's his childhood hero. He's this. For Cody to be the one to do it, it just seemed hypocritical because John has already said, Cody, you with that title disgust me. You're a Nepo baby. You're the Pied Piper. You're this. I don't mess with you. And to be honest, that was the realest thing John Cena has ever said. I'll rock with it because it made 100% sense. He was like, you come out, yeah, you got this catchy interest music, but you're showing that somebody mediocre holding something meaningful is enough for these people. Please. There's nothing mediocre about it. It's like it's the biggest title in all of the company that makes you you're the face, that makes you the top guy. Like that's what they fight for. And not saying Cody has not earned his spot, but he ain't as good as they're trying to pull him up there to be. And to be honest, this whole pity party and this whole, well, you know what? Your dad meant so much to me. Dusty meant so much. He's not Dusty. He's not. He ain't even Gold Dust. he's Cody. And I like Cody to a certain extent. I like when he was dashing Cody. I like Cody if he's going for the United States, if he's going for the Intercontinental. Hell, when Cody came and was first going for his story, I found it cute. But it literally looked like a little boy going up against the tribal chief. He was inexperienced, all of that, which is why you lost the first time. Yeah, Solo got involved, but I couldn't see Cody as the champ. And then Cody finally won at WrestleMania 40. Okay, that was nice. Now what? And I think the reason why it was like, yeah, everyone was happy. I even got emotional because it's like, damn, he did it. But when I think about why I got emotional, it wasn't because Cody won. It was because Cody won the title that his daddy never could. So I felt more emotional again about Dusty Rhodes. That man, his dad not here, but he did it. He did it for his father. It wasn't because I wanted Cody to finish his damn story. I didn't care about that. So that's why everybody was looking for Roman, and now it was like, wait, Roman not here? I thought we was gonna have like a battle. Rock is back. We gonna keep this going, but now the Rock's stepping away and Roman's not here. What the hell is this? We don't want him as the champ. I know we were cheering, booing for Roman because Roman got a little big headed. But well, not us. I'm saying we, as far as I'm trying to talk for the matter of fans. Like, they were cheering for Cody and finish the story, and even with the whole change of the match that Rock and Roman was supposed to have, but the fans wanted Cody. I'm glad that happened because we were able to get the final boss version of The Rock. If that didn't happen, we would have just got regular electrifying Rock versus Roman. It would have been like, who's going to be head of the table? No, they work better together, and that was perfect. So all of that was literally that entire road to WrestleMania with all three of them being involved, even throwing Seth Rollins in. It was just perfect. Cody's first run was mediocre. It was only good because of his competitors. I'm not even a big AJ Styles fan, but AJ Styles carried that rival. He carried that match. Good match, but it's a good match because you are in there with one of the best in the business. So him winning was like, and I'm not gonna lie, I was waiting for AJ. I thought AJ was gonna win the title. And then you face Randy Orton. You mean to tell me this guy who was a part of Legacy beats Randy Orton, the Viper, a 14-time champion? Please. In what world? Please. Then you go up against Gunther. Okay, he beats Gunther. Didn't see that coming. Really thought Gunther was going to annihilate him. Y'all keep shoving him down our throats, and I'm sick of it. So when John came, and he's like, because I didn't want Solo to win at all. Heck, but when John came and then he turned, it made sense. I don't care how John won his 17th title. He won it, and he got it off of this guy. And then y'all give it back. So John's reasoning for changing back is because of what? Because him and Cody, they don't have a good track record. When John beat him, Cody left for like 2 months. Like, and then he comes back and he gets right back in the running for the title and he becomes his opponent, and now John wants to be a good guy again. Why? It's not like you and Cody had some type of reconciliation or anything like that. So I don't understand the purpose. The R-Truth angle made sense. Have Truth continuously interfere in his matches. Whoop John's ass. The way John has been coming in and cheating and all of that, how R-Truth do it. And then I would have been okay if at SummerSlam R-Truth comes in and then John is like, hold on. And they have a moment at some point where it's like, what are you doing? And Truth's like, doing what you doing. Like, and they have that. And then they, at some point have some type of coming to Jesus moment of R-Truth, like, look, man, like, I know they're trying to do the whole thing with I am you, which made sense, but it should have been showcased on a bigger stage when R-Truth turned back and John Cena turned back. And with them making up, that would have caused John to turn back. Because throughout the whole run, and we talked about this when John first turned heel, it was every single body, all of his old rivals that were always the bad guys. John was always a good guy. But now the bad guys are saying that John is taking it too far, which was weird. You got Randy Orton, the man that punk kicked you and your daddy and all type of stuff, saying that John taking it too far, man. You need to have some kids. You need to chill. You need to relax. Even CM Punk, come on, man. You need to relax. Like, you got these people that back then, they were brutal. They didn't give a crap. Like, what? So, if that was the angle that we were going for with the retirement tour, you have this old rival trying to convince him that, hey, even we're saying you're doing too much, man. And R-Truth is the one to bring him back. It makes sense. That's why I'm like, when R-Truth came out there and he told Brock Lesnar, and you want to hear him, John, he was snapping, he was going off and blah, blah. You're not facing that same John Cena. This is a different John Cena. He's not running from the bees. He coming after you. You should have been showcased that. That should have been shown. Because what I saw was like a 2010 John Cena. 2012 John Cena against Brock Lesnar. Like,
I mean, Truth ain't even mad that John didn't come save him. Like, there was so much potential in what they could have did with R-Truth. They could have had R-Truth been like, I'm driving now. As in, I have these different, what they're doing with Bayley, basically, I have all these different personalities, but this personality right here, this is going to be the monster. This is the personality that's going to go get maybe the Street Profits. And we finna build a whole new stable. And we all finna just take over. But no, you got him being back to the goofy guy that's promoting ESPN.
Even if he wasn't, even if, like you said, I would love to see even just glimpse of pieces of I'm driving now. Him going out there to Brock. You did that to me in the past, Brock, able to F5 me. But things have changed. It should have been that. Not Brock coming back dominating, but letting him know that just like how you've changed and your hair and you've gotten bigger, guess what? We all have changed too. And you can't just come in here and F5 me, then you get away with it. It should have been a fight. You ain't just going to pick me up and put me on your shoulders. I'm finna get down and we finna box and show. And it should have been a shock on Brock's face like, yeah, dude, you've been gone a little minute and things have changed. What R-Truth was trying to tell him, this is not the same John Cena. And we should have not seen it. We should have seen something come out of Cena in that match that Brock brought it out of him. And it's just like a John snaps. I would have been cool with, like you said, like a Bayley. If John snapped and it's him trying to like, I was just a heel a minute ago. Like, remember when John was still heel and at the end of some of his matches, it was like he'll pause and he'd be looking like he'll stop himself. He was going to hit somebody with a title, but then he didn't. He was just looking. And it was kind of like,
what am I doing?
His facial expression, it was, John's a great actor. His facial expression when Shane was like, I'm not supposed to be doing this, which is why people thought that The Rock was going to show up, because it seemed like a battle of I'm doing what he's telling me to do, but the deep down part of me, I want to engage with the fans, but it's like, that's not where I'm at because I sold my soul, quote unquote.
And that's what I was trying to get at. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for.
Anyone gonna give it to us? Look, that's why I say I don't know what is going on with creative right now. I really don't. When it comes to John Cena and this being the GOAT, there should not been one mishap or misstep on this retirement tour. He announced it. This wasn't just a spur of the moment. He announced it. It's John Cena. That's like if the Rock announces his retirement tour and we get him for a full year. Stuff needs to be lined up. Opponents need to be lined. Like, it needs to be perfect. And it started out phenomenal. It started out great. He go to elimination. He go to Royal Rumble. Didn't win it. Jay win it. Oh, man. He go to Evolution, the Elimination Chamber. He wins that. Yes. He chokes out CM Punk. They have a little moment in the ring. Then he turns heel at the end of the night. Nobody seen that coming. Then his reason is, screw y'all, the fans. And then that goes on. And that to me, that made us love him even more. Like, man, we get the John Cena we've been wanting for a long time, and they giving it to us. And it was going great. And then John comes out here one night, and now he's babyface again. We wanted the John Cena that beat up Cody. I don't want you to be friends with Cody. I thought you hate him. Because for the people that don't like Cody, it was justifying. Like, yeah, this is exactly what I've been trying to people understand about Cody. So I don't like him because of this. He's too perfect. He's too polished. He's a politician, and he is. Like, I'm sorry. People just always want to get a debate over Cody Rhodes, and I'm like, this is exactly what John said. That man got y'all wrapped around his finger and the palm of his hand, and it's crazy. Not me. I may have sing his song. I may sing it. Yes, have to all. But when that's done, get the hell out the ring. Because I ain't messing with you.
Yeah,
Because
because I'm not invested in him.
I'm
I was
really not.
behind Drew on him winning. So yeah, overall, how do you feel about WrestlePalooza? Overall, like a grade, since teacher.
uh, I'm gonna have to. I gotta give it a D. I gotta give it a D. I'm not even gonna give it a C minus. I would have gave it a.
Hold on, wait. Let's go through all the matches and give each one a grade. So,
Okay.
starting with Brock Lesnar versus John Cena.
F. A big fat red F that circled it twice.
Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker versus the Usos.
I'll give it a C plus. I'll give it a C plus because even though the Usos could have did more, I looked at what Bronson and Braun will bring it to the table, and they had a good match. I'll say they did good on their end. The Usos being the vets, they could have did better, but it was a good match for Bronson and Braun because y'all were facing one of the best tag teams in the company, and they put on a hell of a match to solidify. Like, yeah, because to them, they're like, we're the younger generation, and we put it on. Yeah, we acknowledge that y'all were the best, but now we're here. So it was a good match for them.
I'll give him a C plus, but it's like a 79.9. It's almost a B minus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Stephanie Vicker versus EO Sky.
A plus, extra credit. A plus with extra credit because those women put on. When I tell you, I was at the edge of my damn seat. I didn't know who was going to win it. I'm just like, that's it, and then it wasn't it. And I'm like, come on, Stephanie, kicks out, and man,
I'm gonna
it
tell you.
was
I'm gonna tell you this.
amazing. And I think it was even more amazing because I was really, really hoping, like, please do not let Oscar and Kirby get involved. And I'm glad they did it. It was just them one on one, one on one.
I'm gonna give you this. Have you started watching the Chris Van Fleet interviews?
I watched some of them. I watched like highlights
I
and
would
stuff.
say subscribe to him because every time one of the whoever's going to win a championship, they're almost always on that week. And when John Cena and him had their interview, John talked about him going heel and saying that it will never happen, and then it happened. So I would say get in tune with that because I think that gives insight into a whole lot of what's about to happen. But
Mm.
okay, I agree with the A plus on Stephanie and Io. Um, CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
A. I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A because I didn't know what to expect, and I'm glad that she said I didn't know what to expect with AJ, but I do know one thing about AJ, and she has always stayed in shape. And I really believe, and even I've seen clips a couple of years ago on seeing Punk in the ring. So it's weird that she said that she would never return back, but I could say that girl can't stay away from a ring, even if it's just her and her husband. Like, imagine sitting in bed, that type of relationship, y'all just chilling.
They want to go get in the
I'm
ring.
I'm bored. Go get in the ring. Imagine a couple like that. That's why they so happy together. What? We both not only share a love for wrestling, but we can go wrestle each other. Just let's go get in the ring. Okay. Like that match started off like, come on, y'all keep taking up what they knew they was doing. Kept taking CM Punk away. So I'm thinking that's how the match gonna keep on going until AJ got in there. And once she got in, and at that point there was no more tagging in, tagging out. It was like a tornado tag. Like all four of
And
them
everybody was
just
fighting each other.
everybody was fighting each other. Even the to thank you Triple H for even allowing the men and the women to interact. Even allowing AJ to put the Black Widow on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins knocking AJ down. Becky putting the sharpshooter on CM Punk. CM Punk pinning on Becky. It was like, yes, Those two matches saved the show because those were the only two matches that were worth watching for real. Because
Absolutely. And that's
they
crazy how
did
it's the women's matches that did it. It's
because
almost like y'all
women,
should do more with them. Um,
you said it. You said it. So that's exactly what it is.
and then last but not least, well, maybe Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
Man, you expelled.
You
Expulsion.
don't even get no. You don't even
You need
get
to
a
get a grade.
grade.
You need to leave the school. Please. I don't even want to see you anymore. Because I am so furious at that match. I'm so tired of them doing this. Y'all hype this shit up for 2 weeks, for over a month with this ESPN Wrestlepalooza crap, and y'all hyped it up between Drew and Cody, which it was never going to get there because they don't have any chemistry, and they don't have much chemistry because they didn't have a build up. Because Cody is somewhere doing a movie, which is why John should never lost his title because John is more active than Cody is right now, and Drew getting it would have made sense. Cody, you just had a baby. Go be with your wife and your newborn child. But you out here trying to sign autographs, talk Indiana. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about why not hell you not at home. I want to talk about that. Talk about that, Cody. Because I need you to leave. Because you're really pissing me off. This is you neglecting Brandy, whole little Libby, and the new baby. Because you want to be in the ring. Like what the please don't be a Hulk Hogan. Don't be and rest in peace to Hulk, but don't be a Hulk Hogan in the way of like, that's
Well, don't be like a Hulk Hogan in any form.
well, you know what I
outside the
mean. I
ring.
mean in the sense of not wanting to put somebody over or giving up the title, even though you know right now it's just not working right now. And it's not.
It's
Because we
not.
think even the fans aren't even really getting behind. They again, we will all cheer and woe for him. John Cena has said this. Your interest music, it is catchy. But when it's done, now what? Because then I start hearing the boos. Drew
Because I
should
know
have won.
everybody wanted Drew. We all wanted
Everybody.
Drew.
When I tell you the disappointment, and you know how I know they wanted Drew, because right after Cody won, I looked at them seats. People were leaving. They didn't stay. They were leaving. Empty seats. Can't damn I know damn Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre was screwed again. I'm sick of this. I am so tired. I'm so tired of them screwing Drew that I really want to cry
That's his
because
whole
it's just
character
that
right now.
frustrating. Drew, I am behind you 110%. The work that Drew has been doing for the past 2 years has been absolutely phenomenal. There is no reason why he should not be a champion right now. He took CM Punk being gone from 10 years and put that man back in position in the big spotlight, being one of the top people, but then took a rivalry that went on for months and kept it interesting. They never lacked. And
Him and
Drew,
CM Punk, he made that what's it called? Of
he,
course, CM Punk is CM Punk, but Drew made that rivalry. Then
he
after
made
that,
it.
then after that, it was him and was it him and Damien?
Yep.
Him and
Even that.
Damien. He made
Drew did
that.
that too. He made that too.
So it's
So
like
it's
the
like
biggest
I'm not
rivalries that Drew has been in. He elevated both people. Give him his title.
from that. Even before him and Seth, it was like him and when Jay Uso first came. Drew was the only person on the roster. Like no, like screw him. We ain't in it. All of that. Like Drew is such a versatile character, but he's that ultimate bad guy that you need. But he's also frustrated, Michael Cole, because you love to kiss people's butts. Making it seem like Drew's just mad he's not the champion. You damn right he's mad he's not the champion. I'll be mad too. I'll be mad too. He continuously gets screwed out of it. He got screwed by the bloodline. He got screwed at WrestleMania by Damian Priest. He gets screwed again. Like, come on, man. Like, no. Yeah, I'll be mad too. Because he keeps getting closer and closer and he gets screwed. And then with this time, it's the referee. So if Drew come out tonight and he want to go out there and cuss the referee out or beat him down, I'm all for it.
If he
Because he deserves
claymores the referee, I'ma cry.
it. Heck, you gonna sit there because you trying to save Cody. They in cahoots.
Don't do it. What?
Drew should have kicked him. He should have kicked him, but then he would have got disqualified. But it's just like this. Just man, this is a conspiracy. Yeah.
So, but overall, you got an F, an expelled, a C plus, and two A's. So I think
Yes.
that's about a solid
C
C plus.
minus. And guess what? ESPN gave them the exact same rate. I meant to send that article to you this morning. I read it. ESPN rated WWE's WrestlePalooza on their website. It's official. And they put out there that that's the grade that they gave them. They said that it definitely was, that it was overhyped, that they really thought they was going to get something so grand and special, and they didn't. They said that the Drew McIntyre and CM and Cody Rhodes match did not live up to the hype that it was, and
And
that it
these
was
the people y'all sold out
subpar.
to. These are the people you sold out to, and they told y'all that this was mediocre. Congratulations, y'all played yourselves.
When I say that the comments was going so crazy this morning, I'm like, but y'all wanted to switch to them from Peacock. This is who y'all trying to. That's what y'all get. So, they got a lot to consider and think about, because y'all did too much with this. It was too much ESPN. It was too much Sports Center. It was too much extra. Like, it just didn't feel wholesome. It just didn't feel wholesome. It didn't feel
genuine.
Like when I watch pay-per-view, I get so pay-per-view coming on and hype for it. I didn't feel that. It was too much. Even the breaks, the commercial breaks with the ESPN.
Like I said, it wasn't genuine. There was nothing genuine behind this. This was just money. This was, hey, look, we got AJ Lee back. Come watch us. Hey, we work with ESPN now. We need something here, and we counter programming AEW, which, again, like we said, AEW was better. Watching AEW, there was heart in that shit. There was no heart in WrestlePalooza at all.
Yep.
Whatsoever. AEW had at least 12 matches. I watched all of them with no problem. But when WrestlePalooza came on and I had to go to that party, I turned it on for a minute, but then it just went off. And then the Wi-Fi or whatever turned it off, and I ain't even turn it back on. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm going to go drink and eat and have fun. Because there was no heart in it at all.
I really hope that they take this weekend and this pay-per-view to really think about and look at what they're doing and see that this could possibly be the future. And they really need to take account everything. Because think about the wrestling fans, us. We can be sympathetic and understanding to a bad pay-per-view. And we could be like, you know what, all right, it wasn't that good, but we'll see if we're going to pick up. But now that you at ESPN, it's kind of like y'all ain't got room for mistakes because y'all the rookies coming in. So y'all got to come in. Y'all supposed to blow that out the water. And y'all did it. This is what y'all gave in the beginning. So now they're like, this is what we bought? That's how ESPN look at this. Is what we invested in. Are we sure we want to do this? Because it wasn't what they hyped it up to be. It was too much. We got so much star power here tonight, blah, blah. Don't give a damn about that. Don't care about that. The main event. And then you started off with two of the greatest in the business, Brock Lesnar and John Cena, and we only saw John Cena get 5-6 times. That was the match.
So, with that being
so, anyways, this has been LCW. Because I don't know what to say.
There's nothing left to say.
There's nothing left to say.
So, this has been LCW, Lights Camera Wrestling. And I promise, moving forward, we will not be gone long. I know y'all missed us. I know. But, life happened in between. People got sick. People had to rejuvenate. People is me. So, we're back now. We hopefully can be more consistent. And, yeah.
People going in for
you cut out. So, yeah, we had technical difficulties, so this kind of looks like we jumped a little bit. But however, follow us on all the things, because she added some stuff that I didn't know. So go ahead and tell them all the things that they can follow us on.
You said theme. Oh, so we are now added on Threads. I see a lot of people be, interacting with the things that I've been posting on there. Thank you so much for that. First of all, shout out to y'all on TikTok. We are at over 1,000 followers. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. Keep it running up. We don't care about the controversy. We don't care about, the going back and forth under the post. Like I said many times before, when you guys are arguing with someone, best believe it's with me. It's not with us. I's not gonna argue with you. He's not. He'll let you sit there and sound like a dumbass. But me, I got a rebuttal for everything. So it's me that y'all arguing. Just so y'all can stop referring to me as, come on, dude, come on, bro. It's not bro. It's sis, babe. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Threads. Follow us on our YouTube. Yes, we've been lacking, but we're back. Make sure you catch this once you rewind it, go back, everything. We're going to be coming out with a lot more. Want to start doing different segments, and we're going to start eventually having some guests on the show. So,
This is news to me.
yeah, we get some talks with some people, get some guests on here so we can start debating because sometimes I need to get it out. Yeah, and
Fair
we want to
enough.
hear. We want to hear the different opinions and the different, the way different takes that you guys take from the show, outside from our own. Um, but keep building, keep rocking with us. We appreciate y'all so much. It doesn't go unnoticed. We don't get here without you guys because if not, it's just pretty much just us rambling and talking with each other.
Basically. So,
So the feedback, appreciate it.
great. With that being said, I've been Oz the Alchemist,
And it's your girl Lola Love.
and we'll see y'all next time.